The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. When you look at this defense, they come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants him to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Now back to throw. He's got this downfield to McBride. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Gain of 34.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. Dancing to his left. He finds his man, Pollard. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
Vaughn is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Back to throw. This one swung out to Vaughn. Touchdown! Deuce Vaughn, his first touchdown on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now Mayfield. In trouble, and he's taken down. Tershawn Wharton never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. And they get to him right out of the gate. And this defense hoping that that's a harbinger of things to come.
Yeah, when you give up a first-play sack, makes your quarterback wonder if he's going to go to the sidelines and talk with his offense coordinator and head coach and say, hey, you know that game plan we put together? We might need to change it right now. I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let it fly for Austin. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there on third down. 53 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. When you look at this defense, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? On the handoff, Benson running right. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 15 yards on the play, first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On first down, right back to Benson. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with...
And it's caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf with career touchdown number 75. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little... to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll look to throw here. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. Following the interception, Mayfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way, The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has a responsibility, and work with him and try and get him settled.
They'll begin on the ground here with Vaughn. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 7-7, our score after one. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. And that one results in 35 yards. And you get the sense, as I'm sure they got the sense, they might have picked up a good one here, maybe a little diamond in the rough via trade.
Maybe just need a change in scenery, a new city, maybe different motivation, but they believe they've got a good one.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught at the 20. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 64 yards. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Throwing, Mayfield. And it's caught. Touchdown. Calvin Austin from 19 yards away. And his guys have taken the lead. Now the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. That's down the field for Jefferson. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Justin Jefferson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
To throw, Mayfield. And this is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Mayfield with it once more. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Now they'll change things up. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll set up a throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
With how the coverage was positioned, up was about the only spot the quarterback had to try and deliver that pass. Just put a little too much height on it. Incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Vaughn. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Pollard. They'll run with Pollard. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Trey McBride in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are going to take the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. Final play of the half, Mayfield. Catch is made by Metcalf. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And now the half not quite over yet. This is a live football on the miss. He's past the 30, and he is finally going to be taken down. Boy, that could have been a really late swing here, but the attempt to return the field goal snuffed out, and that'll do it for this first half. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. A touchdown the differential, a 7-point game as we get back underway in quarter number 3. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff and the first drive of the second half. From the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Open man here is Benson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Here's Mayfield. He finds his man complete. That's Benson. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Trey Benson, 51 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 21. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand-new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And, Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So the deep ball giveth, and now the deep ball taketh away.
Man, you're getting deep on me here. I like that. Going to the next level in what you're thinking. And when you think about all the success he's had throwing the football so far, sometimes when you're doing that, you think you're invincible out there. But he was given a cold dose of reality on that throw.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
Mayfield now. That's complete to his rookie second-round pick. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Mayfield looks to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Benson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete.
A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. On first down, it's Benson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. And with the play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Mayfield. Looking for Austin, intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They start the drive with Vaughn. And he is going to lose yardage here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Vaughn on 1st and 10. Getting in there for the tackle, Marcus Williams.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Second and 5. That's down the field for Jefferson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Mayfield to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And all the way in for the touchdown.
Calvin Austin
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And his guys are going to take the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Point after, right down the middle. 1 quarter remains here on this Thursday night. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the 2nd half. They'll need to change that here.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Again, a run with Vaughn. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And now here's another interception. picked up by Noah Igbenogany.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful, because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
A give. Here comes Benson. Down the right sideline. Inside the 10.
Touchdown!
Trey Benson, his second rushing touchdown on the year.
And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Sometimes running plays hit or break so fast, there's no reaction time from the secondary. So I've got to give credit to the offensive line for creating that hole so suddenly. And how decisive was he to take that cut and just go? No one downfield there to stop him.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership...
Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Back to throw now on 1st down.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
They come up now on 2nd and 2.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Again, he'll drop to throw. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Back to throw again.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion. So I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They run over center with Benson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll try to run. And now a fumble. The ball's out. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This one brought in by Jefferson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day. And there it is, the standard symbol. Taking a knee means that one team won, and the other one obviously lost the ball game. But now that team that won is 2-2. After the first 4 games, I think they're okay with a 2-2 start. Not overly happy, but at the same time, not depressed either.
You mentioned to me breaking down a season in quadrants. So the first quadrant is kind of a check, as you said, for okay. Not great, not bad.
Yeah, right now they're just holding serve. They look forward to their next 4. Maybe they can make a surge there.
Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the home team here, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.